Good morning and welcome to another edition of Roadhouse Live. We are live. Today is August 3rd, 2023. Bender, how is this August 3rd, 2023?
It's all right. It's all right. We were talking a little bit pre-market. I'm sitting in the air conditioning, so that makes it all right because outside is an oven all the time, every day. I wake up, if I step outside, and it's like after 8:30 in the morning, it is an oven.
Well,
I'm over it.
I thought
I'm
that
over
they
it.
said everybody says that Texas is like the greatest place ever. Do you agree
I
with this
don't.
sentiment?
I don't know. I do not. I don't.
Uh-oh.
I know people say that, and
Uh-oh.
I'm not sure. We've talked about this too, right? Like it's the land of the free, and everybody's proud to be a Texan because it's freedom, and yet, like, the majority of the state consists of land that you'll get shot if you walk on. It's kind of crazy. Like, we moved here obviously from Colorado. You know that,
Mhm.
and the majority of that state is public land. Go wherever you want, do whatever you want. You want to go out there and camp and shoot a gun and ride a dirt bike, and you're welcome to do it. But
Sounds
in
kind of
Texas,
communist.
you don't get to do that stuff in Texas unless you own property.
Yeah.
There's a handful of places you can go, but for the most part, everybody's just kind of trapped. Luckily, I am I am fortunate enough to have a little bit of property that I can go do some of those things. But before we got that property, it was like there's just no outlet, nowhere to go, and it's hot all the time, all the damn time. Like, the summer is just absolutely brutal. So no, I'm not on the train that it's an amazing place to live.
Well, Bender, it's like that hurts a lot of people's feelings.
They'll get over it. Hey, it's just my opinion.
Because
There's a lot
Texas
of
is
people
the
that
best, from what they
uh
say. It's better than all the rest.
yeah. There's a lot of people that would, when I say Colorado was a great place to live, that are going to go, oh, it's too fucking cold and wah, 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 wah. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
everybody's
Well,
got what works for them. So,
a special announcement. Um, Officially, Fitch has been dubbed a terrorist entity by HellsBells. It is official. They are terrorists, also communists, but definitely terrorists. Fitch is
Fitches get snitches, get
I
stitches. Fitches get
all of
stitches.
those things. All of those things. Fitch is a terrorist. It is a terrorist state run by commies, and something shall be done. I don't know what. I'll maybe send a mean tweet or two, but something should be done about the Fitch downgrading America and still having the audacity to stand on this soil. Fitch, get fucked. Okay, look, here's the reality. Data comes in good, ERs are coming in well, everything is looking a-okay, and the market just wants to eat a dick. So that is my opening announcement. That's what I have to say. That's the market. It's still extremely heavy. We have Phantom Prints below on Q, down into the 371s. I did not see that hit yet this morning, but they are down there. Yesterday we had that Phantom on UVXY at 1818, now running 1894. So there you have it. Bender, what you got, buddy?
Wow, that was quite brief.
Yeah, look, there's
All
nothing
right.
to say. It's like data comes in
Sure.
good, ER's coming good, and the twats want to sell. So cool, let's do it.
Cool. All right. Well, here is a 2-hour chart. And do you see what I see? Okay. So we've got this channel here. You can see where it started. See what was support. These are parallel lines where resistance exists. Yeah, we were banging our heads up against the top of this channel. And we had started to pull down here before Fitch said anything. So fuck Fitch. This happened before Fitch said anything. That we
Well,
bounced.
so part of that's true, part of that's not, but carry on.
We bounced into this fair value gap, which became resistance, fumbled around in this box, broke this triangle, and now we're down at the midpoint of this channel, also what is near this trendline support, right? So as far as this pull down is concerned, no damage done. And historically, the month of August sees, 150 to 200 points drawdown. So again, no big deal. And really, and I posted this on Twitter, there is still room. We've got the bottom of this channel down here, which is kind of what I have been saying. If we come down and we get near the bottom of this channel, like that's where I want to buy stuff. So I was talking about the fact that I was lightening up on some positions up in here, and it could it have shot through and gone to ATH? Yeah, it could have, and I would have been, did I sell everything? No, but I wanted to free up some capital so that if we got that pull and we find ourselves down here, then I've got some money to deploy, right? So doesn't mean that there's no guarantee that we would get it, but just that's how the chart was lining up. Okay, we're at trendline resistance. And now we're down here in the middle of this channel. Maybe we get one more bounce up and come down and check the bottom of this. I don't know exactly how this plays out, but I am sticking right now to the plan that we will see closer to the bottom of this channel at some point this month. I do think that, for me personally, this seems like it was inevitable. I think it's possible that some of these headlines and Fitch, downgrade, maybe that sped up the timeline a little bit. We'll have to wait and see, but
well, it definitely accelerated the pull down.
That's what I'm saying. It pulls forward some of that selling.
It's like before they announced, AMD had announced everything. Everybody had announced the data was still looking good. SPY was actually after hours. Everything was green. Fitch did its announcement and everything shit the bed. So
think about this for a second. If historically August sees these drawdowns and we're up near the top of this channel and we're looking at the chart going, okay, just based on historical probabilities, there's a good chance that we pull back from this area. If you are market moving type money and you're planning on some sort of drawdown as a chance to, okay, we're taking gains up in here, we'll reload when we get down to the bottom of the, they're driving the market. But if that's already in your head, if that's part of the game plan and some headlines start to come out like they did, you might go, all right, we'll just speed it up by a week. Like we were going to sell anyway. Okay, let's sell it now. Now we've got headlines to work with that can help drive this, to where we want to go. I don't know that that's the case, but in my head, it makes sense. So it pulls some of that selling forward, maybe like we were just saying, accelerates the timeline a little bit. So we'll see where we go from here. But for me personally, if we get down near the bottom of this channel over the next week or two, 3, like that's where I'm looking to to add back in. Now, as far as where, like how we sit on the day, again, we're near the midpoint of this channel. Expect, I'm expecting some bounces, which you can see this 2-hour candle here. We did get one. And that yellow dotted line is the midpoint of the channel. We've been staring at this for a while, this channel, right? So it's no surprise that we come down, we test the midpoint, we get that bounce, we pull down through it, we come up, we test it from the bottom. I mean, it doesn't get a whole lot better as far as, yep, that's the midpoint right there. Boom, boom, right? So I've got this 60-minute fair value gap over here that I'm watching. If we fall out of the bottom of this channel, I didn't leave it dragged over because it makes the chart kind of a little, I don't know, messy, I guess, confusing. But the top of that channel is 4504 half. So if we fall underneath this shaded, which is the bottom trend line down here, if we fall below that into this 60-minute fair value gap, potentially it comes down and fills this in, right? Bottom of that being 45.85 half or so, right in here. This is also the top of the new week opening gap. The bottom of that new week opening gap is, I think, right around 44.77. So if we fall below that trend line support, maybe that drags us down into this 60-minute fair value gap, into that new week opening gap, and then we have this 60-minute fair value gap sitting below, down around that 44.70 to 44.60, kind of right in there. So those are the levels below that I will be watching. If we really do get sort of waterfall or cascade effect, we've got this swing low hanging out here at 44.1125. Now, that would put us below that parallel channel, right? Which sometimes it likes to, as we can see at the top, sometimes it likes to wick, right? It kind of pops above but can't hold it, pulls back in. We may get something like that if it comes all the way down here. I don't know that they're going to make it that easy. I don't know that they're going to give us that straight line shot down like that. So I'd be watching these 60-minute fair value gaps on any sort of continued pull down. Going to the 60-minute chart, we can see this 60-minute fair value gap right in here that we left behind on the pull down. That's 45.3375. Above that, then I'd be looking for this candle's high, 45.4775, and then into this 60-minute fair value gap. And ultimately, right in there, 45.84 half. And that's about 60 points up from here. But where you kind of have to have your head on a swivel on a move up is right at the top of that 60-minute fair value gap, 45.3325. And then that candle's high, 45.47 half. This is where I'd be watching to see if it wicks above and pulls back down, or if it gets above, that becomes support and it starts to push higher. If it starts to push higher off of that level, then it should fill in this 60-minute fair value gap and ultimately probably go trade back up into this 45.75 area. Take a quick look at the 15-minute so we can zoom in a little bit and you can see that 60-minute candle. This is now 15 minutes, right? But you can see the top. That's the top of that 60-minute fair value gap. So if we trade up above that, that would put us kind of right up against the midpoint of that channel. And that's where I'd want to see kind of an explosive move through it to give me some confidence that we can go take out the Asia session high right up in here and then push up into this 60-minute fair value gap. If it's just kind of ho-hum, weak push through and pull back down, then that would tell me that it's most likely going to target the London low, 45, 10, 25, and then into this 60-minute fair value gap. That's about all I got. Good talk.
All right. I guess that's me.
I guess that's you. I don't know what happened to Hells, but I guess that's you. What you got, Stonkington?
All right. Let's go. I got a screen to share. We got some things to talk about. We got a big ER coming up today and a special request. We got Amazon coming up today, and we had a request for a specific Price is Right docket. Freeman, if you're out there, you are not allowed to guess here. Today,
what do we got?
I don't know where you guys like to buy your meat, but apparently Freeman likes to buy it on the internet. Today, we've got 10 16-ounce Mizaki Japanese Wagyu boneless ribeyes that Jeff Bezos will send to you directly right at your house. Look at those beautiful cuts.
It's making me hungry.
Right? Steak and eggs for breakfast.
Yeah. So how many of these are there?
You get 10 16-ounce.
10 16-ounce.
I had to the actual title on Amazon because I know we have some cheaters out there that just look it up. Bateman's in for $12K.
Oh, I think that's too much. $12K now.
That's
really?
more than over 1,000 full moon. That we got people doubling that one.
I'm gonna say they're about 175 bucks a piece, 200 bucks a piece, maybe. I'll go $17.99.
$17.99. Full moon's in at $3K total. Well, Mad Max 2.5K. Wells is gone. I think this is good. This is looking like a strikeout. Bezos wants these for, what do we got here? $14.29. So there you go. Everybody should go buy them because apparently everyone would pay more. So there you go.
I think I win though. I was the closest, I think. Was anybody closer?
But I mean, Price is Right rules. You were over.
Oh. Yeah, I guess it's closest without going. So nobody gets the picture. All right, moving on.
No stakes for anybody. All right, let's move on. All right, so kind of just start with the clean chart before I was kind of trying to do it on the chart where I already have my markup. So here's the NASDAQ on a weekly, and about an hour in, we were saying we would be looking for this line here, which was a fair value gap, and we hit it. Now we're below. So what that would mean on a weekly time frame to me would be that if we closed below that level, that 15.36675, that we would then be looking for this area moving forward to be working as resistance, becoming an inversion fair value gap. So we've crossed through that. So again, if the weekly candle closed below there, I would be looking for moves back up into that range to work as resistance. So for the way that I would start drawing, and we'll jump into the chart that I already have more marked up here, but the way that I would start to kind of drill down would then be this line here. This is all a fair value gap that's now getting filled in. It was basically through here. So this could be our next draw, would be that 15.278.75, because this was all fair value gap. And then there would be, smaller ones back here down to like the bottom of this candle. But that's kind of like the way that I would start to add some of these lines. So if we jump over to the chart that's already marked up, so there's we filled in the weekly fair value gap. So then we've got the daily bottom of this low to that candle, bottom of this low to that candle. And then if we continue, I guess we can also note that little volume imbalance would be this orange box, the low of that candle to the high of that body. And then most of this markup I have done based on the hourly. We can see this trend line that we've now lost, and then we retested and rejected. So again, the downside target would potentially be that 278.75. Then next we'd have this next daily fair value gap. If we start to press to the upside, we've got some upside targets based on fair value gaps here above. If we cross through the volume and balance, we've got this one, basically just the body of this candle here that has room up to that 15.881.50, and then again another one, just a big seller candle that this would all potentially be rebalanced. And then we have our Fitch, the first gap is up there that has not been filled in. So that this is basically the gap from when they did the downgrade.
All right. We lost
We lost the stonk.
Stonkington. I wonder if he knows. I will I just sent him a message to let him know that we lost him. I actually was going to talk about, there he is. I was going to talk about this weekly fair value gap, but he is back. Stonkington, we lost you.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was all of a sudden gone. All right, let's pick.
Continue.
Going again. Continue. All right, so we did the NASDAQ. Let's do the Russell. All right, so I had this line that we're holding at the moment marked as a 4-hour order block line. We can see it's been an important reaction. Basically, it would be kind of like part of the body of this candle, a down close candle that was followed by a big push up. Similar over here, down close candle followed by a big push up. Again, so this is just a key level here on the Rusty that we're sitting on. We've got a similar daily fair volume imbalance, this little orange line there above. So we may have to go fill that in. And then again, a lot of this markup is based on an hourly chart. So if we were to lose that, this looks like a target, potentially this clean, a little bit too clean there down. So maybe stop out this bull. If we start pushing up, we've got our, this is kind of like a bullish falling setup. Although I was saying that yesterday, and it did eventually, we got a little bit of a reversal, but so we're just in this falling channel here. Above upside targets would be up through that 1985.60, and then new week opening gap, Fitch gap. So this is kind of what I'll be watching for here on the Russell. Let's see. So individual tickers, jumping over there. Going to be focusing again on Tesla. Tesla lines were partially just a rinse and repeat from yesterday. Man, TradingView's adjusting these trend lines without my consent, getting me too'd. Let's see. So above on Tesla, we've got this 255.45, clear, important level. Want to see us pop and hold that for upside. Downside, I'll be watching this 252.85, also clear, important level. Let's see. We bounce off it there. Found some support. So that's kind of what I'll be watching here on Tesla for today. Didn't really. I mean, we got a little bit of a sell off there, but held up pretty good considering. And then the other one that was going to be Meta. These were 4-hour inside bars when I ran the scanner. So we've got 315.05 on Meta. You can see that's been an important level, bounced, rejected there, resistance. So, and then below, I'll be watching that 311.75 on Meta. So we'll just kind of see what we get. And I think that's all I've got.
All right, very nice. Thanks, Doc. So we do have some phantoms that did come in. I want to reiterate that the lowest one that I saw on Q was 371.72. We're just a couple of nickels off of that now. SPY 447.97 is what I saw there on those. So just obviously kind of keep that in mind. The ones from UVXY hit yesterday perfectly, and even the ones on Q's hit yesterday perfectly, and we're right there right now as far as that's concerned. So yeah, that's what I got. You guys have anything else you want to add?
Well, let me share this. Let me share this chart real quick because I do have kind of one other thing just to make y'all aware of. Here we go. All right. Quick look at the daily on the ES. You can see this gray shaded box right here. There's a volume imbalance right here on the daily. So we kind of look for to lay a candle over this volume imbalance. There is one above as well. So these are both hanging out there. We want to see the body of a candle on the daily, fill those in. At some point, they normally will come back to that those volume imbalances and fill those in. And you can see these daily candles kind of pushing down here, and these daily fair value gaps that come all the way down to 44.50, 44.49 half. I've got going out to the weekly, the bottom of this weekly fair value gap right here. I think that's going to be a big level if we get down there, 44.94. And then going back to the daily, if we find ourselves below that 44.94, maybe that wick pushes down, into that 44.60, 44.50 level, kind of right in there. I don't know that we'll get all the way down there, but when we make these pushes, once the direction is kind of set, right? Until we get a shift or a change in direction, we have to try to analyze what it's going for. What is the objective? Where is it trying to reach liquidity? What is there? Where are Brad, Chad, and Thad? We haven't talked about them in a while, but where are they sitting? If they got left behind, they missed the bus. Where are they hanging out, looking for a ride? And that may be found inside of these daily fair value gaps here. So just something to kind of keep in mind, keep track of. And then lastly, I'm just going to throw Tibbs on here real quick for anybody that's wondering. That looks like from this low to this high, midpoint 45.23, and the 618 would be 44.96 half. So
how far off are we? How many handles?
That would be about 20 from here. Would give us that 44.96 half. So, and I think that's about all I got.
All right, very good. We have about 9 minutes until open. 9 minutes until open. That's all I got. That's all they got. We'll see you soon.
All right. See you in a few.
Yep.